Today's Japanese slang term is fェニックス. Yes, that's how you read those kanji. Deal with it. So this term is a term used by fujoshi, or female fans of BL, women who like reading about men who like men, and refers to older members of the community. First though, let's talk about fujoshi, because if you're not familiar, this is a term that, I guess it's Japanese slang, but it's been around for quite some time, and it is a term that most people these days would know. So fujoshi is a word that parodies the word fujoshi, right? It sounds the exact same, taking the first kanji of the word and changing it to the kanji for rot. The idea being that they are rotten women because of their interest in boys love media. That said, while this term could be seen as insulting as a result, it is very much, especially in 2026, embraced by the fujoshi community as a term that they use to describe themselves. And this community and the term to describe it is quite old as well, as it very clearly goes back at least 20 years. There's academic research in English on fujoshi going back to like 2011 in this article by Galbraith, as well as an article in 2009 by Aoyama, which itself notes the use of fujoshi in magazines going back to 2007. And the Wikipedia article for fujoshi in Japanese itself dates back to 2004 and notes that, with a citation, which unfortunately I couldn't access, that use of the term started in the late 1990s, hitting the mainstream around 2005. And to try to do my own little part to add to this timeline, I was able to find a website via Google that dates itself to the year 2000, although if you watch my videos, you know we can't trust that necessarily. But I also found another website that doesn't have a date on it, but Google says it's from 2000, and the URL does have 000105 on it, which from a Japanese perspective would be January 5th, 2000, right? Year, month, day. And the website does look old. It has that kind of older internet aesthetic to it. Minimally, here's a website that absolutely 100% is from 2005 and uses the word fujoshi. Importantly though, while fujoshi is now very much embraced by fujoshi, the term hasn't been used insultingly in history. Indeed, we don't really know who attached the rot to it, if it was meant to be like self-depreciating or if it was meant to be insulting. And indeed, if we go to that Wikipedia article and look at the first version of it, so the version that was first published in 2004, it doesn't read with the kind of voice we associate with Wikipedia these days at all. And instead, it describes fujoshi as women who have a secret they can't tell anyone, so something kind of embarrassing, and says that they hide away in the 801 board of 2chan, and that is because 801 can be read as yaoi, right, which is another word for boys love media. So it is unquestionable that in the past, fujoshi was used as an insult, even if it was also quite quickly used self-referentially by that community. But this use of rot by this community is why, when we read the word fェニックス, we use rot here to replace the normal kanji for the word phoenix in Japanese, which is also pronounced fu because phoenix in Japanese is fushicho, or undying bird. So while this is a bit of a darkness smiling scenario in taking a kanji and giving it a reading that it's not supposed to have, one, that's allowed, Japanese people can do that, and two, the use of rot there is very much intended to link the community. So as mentioned in the beginning of this video then, fェニックスis used by fujoshi to refer to elder members of their community, so people who are not only older, but have also been around for a long time. Generally speaking, from what I can see in internet discourse, a fェニックスis somebody who nowadays is about 50 years old or so, which gives them the possibility of having been a fujoshi for around 26 to 30 years. Indeed, in the post you're looking at right now, fujoshi is specifically listed as 50 and contrasted with kifujin, which are instead BL fans in their 30s. And this is again just another kanji joke because kifujin normally just means noble woman, but it's a word that means woman and has a fu in it, which means of course we can change that into the kanji for rot and link everything together. In fact, there's like a bunch of different levels to fujoshi depending on how old you are. This person here, for instance, notes that they're not yet a fェニックス, but they are instead a fubaba, or apparently some people say fubaba, which is one level below. In fact, I can even find discussions of these fujoshi levels dating back to 2008, so even though I guess it might have been really hard for fェニックスto exist back then, given that the fujoshi community was comparatively new, at least to now, the idea that you advance through the fujoshi levels as you are fujoshiing, is not a new one at all. And indeed, there are at least 6 of these levels. Even a male variant that they list as an old male member of the BL-loving community is instead a shimpu, because this is homophonous with a term for priest that has a male-related kanji here, father, in the title, but it's pronounced pu, which is like fu without a circle on it, so it can be turned into rot. Oddly enough though, I can't find any uses of fenikusu on Twitter until 2009, but again, it's talking about levels, so yeah, the level thing is very clear. And while we have seen the fenikusu reading actually spelled out on a few of the earlier posts, if you didn't notice it, it was on this one, you can actually write this whole word by just taking the fu in fenikusu and writing it with rot, and then doing the rest in katakana, as you can see in this compilation here, which all date to 2009, and some of which again note the levels. So none of this is new whatsoever, reflecting the continued importance and interest of these various types of fujoshi within the fujoshi community. In fact, there's even another level, because eventually you may pass away. Or you would if you weren't a phoenix, right? Because a phoenix instead enters a state of immortality. And yes, there is a Japanese word for immortality that has the fu sound in it. Two of them, in fact, and that's furofushi. So as you can guess, you can replace both of those knots with rot, and you then get something after fenikusu, which is sometimes jokingly described as the state of sort of entering the broad collective unconscious of fujoshi, a state where you become pure fujun. And this is again another joke, because fujun in Japanese actually means impure already, but when you replace the knot with rot, you get like the impurity specific to fujoshi. So for instance, when a fujoshi says they have a fujun na kokoro, or a rotten impure heart, that specifically means that they are unable to look at something that is not BL without kind of BLing it. Similar to having a dirty mind, except you're always shipping men with other men. So in this thinking then, furofushi is the state that you kind of prepare yourself in, like this person here is, before passing away as a fujoshi, or to phrase it more accurately, before entering the state of immortality as a phoenix. Additionally though, furofushi is used by fujoshi sometimes to mean not death, but actually like the passing on of your fujoshiness to your descendants. This person here uses it exactly in this way to note that they saw a lot of old women really enjoying a fan event, and they wanted to age like that as well. They wanted to enjoy their fandom as they aged. And so they state they're going to aim for this eternal state of rot, and because their daughter and their daughter's children, their grandchildren, are all otaku, there is a chance that they will be able to achieve it. But while we've seen that fujoshi are very linguistically creative and moved very fast to invent a lot of words, this one did take a little bit longer to create. And by a little bit longer, I mean 1 year, because the first uses I can find are in 2010. And just to kind of wrap this all up, actually, this rendering of Phoenix, or Fushicho, with the rock character is also on a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's kind of surprising. I wonder if the Yu-Gi-Oh people know about this. The English translation, the official English translation of this is Volcarion the Rotting Phoenix, which definitely gets the rot and the phoenix in there as well, right? But honestly, I think it's a very poor translation, because I would have gone with this.